All right, we are live, and it is the My Part of Town podcast, our Wednesday show, featuring myself, Mr. C, the Enforcer, aka Poppy Carlo Bad Boy, and my co-host, as they may show up later, Volo M Tautology, aka VMT the Mastodon, and also Mr. BAS, featuring the Technician and Killer. And we also got Wabi the God floating in the clouds at all times, and every once in a while he may come down from heaven just to bless y'all with some knowledge. I always start off my shows all about what's going on. This show's a Philadelphia show, mainly focused on Philadelphia news, what's going on, talk to some people in the city, but we also care about all major cities across the country, what's happening out there. We want to know what's going on in your city too, so thanks for watching if you're watching. I always start shows off with a video session. I'm going to run it for about a half an hour. If I don't have any host with me or guest host with me, I'm going to run it for an hour. Then after that, we're going to get into multiple segments, a news segment, a Philly bio of the week, which is a gentleman named Fabian Forte, who will be going over his life and times in history as a Philadelphian, some current news, an editorial source by me where I may goof off, and then we'll close it out and get out of here. And we're also going to check on Philadelphia sports, of course, too. So thanks for watching. I'm going to bring up my videos here, get some warm-up videos going. So on let's see. So we'll do one of Volo. We'll do Volo's videos to start this one. We'll do some Volo videos. Let me see here. One moment. Sorry. I'm always building Wi-Fi. And I need to get me a girlfriend or something to run this machine stuff so I can just be cool. I can be like radical dude. You know what I mean? Let me put on some background audio while I research. We'll go with feeding the ducks. What the hell that means, right? So everybody feed the ducks.
C told me to keep making YouTube videos. Told me to do as many videos as I could, you know. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm introducing a new video, and we're calling it 10 Minutes of Hip Hop, where I just share some of the thoughts of how the culture should be. So my brother hit me the other day, right? And he told me these are the top 5 verses of all time. I'm like, lyrics? I mean, are we really going to try to analyze lyrics? You know what I mean? Like, you want to debate about it? Say, yo, these are the top 5 of all time verses. All right, you know what I mean? So we got to analyze this. We got to try to understand, like, is these the top 5 lyrics of all time? And I got 10 minutes, and so I only got 10 minutes to do this. So we're gonna start off with this one right here. We're gonna start off with this one right here, right? It goes, I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these mockeries, lyrically performed on robbery. Flee with the lottery, possibly they spotted me. What? Whoa. Did you peep that, right? Hold on. Check it out, right? Then he goes, battle-scarred shogun, hold up, what? Battle-scarred shogun, exposing when my pen hits. What? Tremendous. Ultraviolet, shine blind forensics. I inspect view through the future, see millennium. Killer bees, so 50 gold, 60 platinum. Shackling the masses with drastic rap tactics. Graphic displays melted still like blacksmiths. What? Black blue jackets, green beesies, the guns in. Rumble with patrolling in. Yo, these might be the greatest lyrics. These might be the greatest verse of all time, right? But even with this song, right? This real John was next. Let me get my volume right? Even with this track, right? How much time I got left? All right, I'm 2 minutes in. Give me a minute, right? Graphic displays melted steel with like blacksmiths. Black blue jackets, cream bees ease the guns in. Rumble with patrolmen. Tears gas lights the function. Heads be the score, take flight. Hold up. Heads be the score, take flight. Whoa. Heads be the score, take flight. Yo. Inside a war. Yo. Heads be the score, take flight inside a war. Chicks hit the floor, die hard fan demands more. Behold the bold soldier, control the globe slowly. Proceeds to blow swinging swords like shinobi. Stomp the grounds, and pound footprints in the solid rock. You got it locked, performing on your hottest block. Yo. These might be this right here. Yo, I gotta practice this some more in order to spit it to this crazy ass beat I got in the background. But what I'm just trying to bring to the, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to get my levels right. My levels is out of control. They shouldn't be this high, right? Yo, this is out of control. Yo. How much time I got left? All right, I got a lot of time left. Let me see here. I bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophy, hypotheses can't be drowned out, baby. Dropping these mockeries. Lyrically performed on robbery. Free with the lottery. Possibly they spotted me. Battle scar shogun. Exposure when my pen hits. Tremendous. Ultraviolet rhyme times. Ultraviolet rhyme. Hold up. This said ultraviolet shine blind forensics. Ultraviolet shine blind forensics. Ultraviolet shine blind forensics. I inspect you through the future, see millennium. I inspect the view. Hold up. I inspect you through the future, see millennium. I inspect you through the future, millennium. I view, this guy, killer bees, sold 50 gold, 60 platinum. Shackling the masses with drastic rap tactics. Yo, my favorite is Battle Scarred Shogun. Tremendous explosions when my pen hits. Tremendous. Yo. Black blue jackets, green bees, ease the guns in. Yo. Black blue jackets, green bees. Like they got their ladies putting their gun to ease the guns in. Like they calming us down. Rumble with the patrolmen. Like we ain't scared of the cops, right? Tear gas lace the function. Heads by the score. Take flight inside a war. Chicks hit the floor. Die hard fan demands more. Like yo, these bars right here, yeah, they might be a part of the top. Yeah, that's top 5 right there. That's definitely top 5. How y'all feel about that? Write some stuff in the, like, as we jam into this, right? Write who y'all think top 5 verses is in the description, so we can go over this, because this don't make no sense right here. What I'm going over right here. Shout out to Inspector Deck. I mean, you came with it with these lyrics right here. You know what I mean? This, you know, you get God status for these bars right here. So me and my son, we gotta study these, and we gonna have to drop these again. Like we gotta bring these type lyrics back to the forefront, right? Yeah. Who got it locked? 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 Performing live on your hottest block. Who got it locked? Who got it locked? Who got it locked? Who got it locked? Who? Performing live on your hottest block. You gotta cut that shit up, right? Stomp the grounds and pounds. Footprints in the solid rock. Stomp the grounds, pound footsteps in the solid rock. Pounding footprints in the solid rock. Yo, who got it locked? Who got it locked? That shit gets you hyped, right? Oh, Oh, 7 minutes, yo. 3 minutes left, yo. 3 minutes left, yo. 3 minutes left, yo. 3 minutes left, yo. Yo, you're gonna have to, yo. I gotta come with a new beat. I gotta bring their beat back with this one. Yo, this is from Triumph, right? And then, I might have to bring that back, cause this, and I gotta hook my mic up and everything. But yeah, like, subscribe, share. You know what I mean? Let's rap about this, man. Are these the top 5? Is this in the top 5? Is Inspector Derek? Is these lyrics right here top 5? All right. And write y'all suggestions. Share this. Let's get back to that real culture. When we talking about truth, love, courage, trying to gain that knowledge, wisdom, understanding. This is the only way we're going to achieve freedom, justice, and equality. You're watching Volo television. This is that real hip hop, right? We bringing it back, right? We an intelligent movement. We want to stop listening to these frauds stepping up to us like they hip hop and then they wearing a damn dress. Come on, dude, get out of here with that whack stuff, right? I don't care how you feel. It ain't. Listen, man. We about brotherhood. We about manhood. We trying to achieve fatherhood, right? We all about that. We about, yo, y'all scared of the patriarchy? I know you are. We love the matriarchy. What's up, Bo? We shine and we gonna shine non-stop. We gonna keep teaching hip hop. It's the transformation of all subjects and objects. This is what we gonna do, right? Yo, bomb atomically with Socrates' philosophy. 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 Bomb atomically with Socrates' philosophies. Hypotheses. Yo, y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready for this real hip hop. Y'all ain't ready for this real hip hop. If you are ready, like, share, subscribe. I might drop another 10 minutes in 10 minutes. This is why I'm doing it from here on out. Drop 10 minutes. See you in 10 minutes. Drop another 10 minutes. Because this is what we about. We about bringing the culture back. Y'all, they got our culture. They done took our culture and then transformed it into a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? No. We hip-hop is here. We about that spirituality of seeking truth, love, and courage. Sharing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Helping our people achieve freedom, justice, and equality. You know what I'm saying? That's what we about. Yeah, I'm hyped right now. Yeah, I'm giving it to y'all raw and uncut. Yeah. Get y'all 10 minutes. So come back. Subscribe. Share this real. Right? See you in another 10 minutes. Right? Be on the lookout. We're going to keep kicking this non-stop. Teach hip hop. Teach hip hop. Welcome back to Real Hip Hop. We like to call this show 10 Minutes of Hip Hop. Here on Volo Television, we dropping that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding for you. This is Volothamp Modulus Tautology, and I'm just here to just spit some thoughts at you about the culture that I grew up with. We spell culture with a K, of course, not because we killers, because knowledge is what we seek. We want to understand. We want to grow our wisdom. You know what I mean? Let the beat flow a little bit for you. We doing our thing. Like I said, I'm giving you 10 minutes of hip hop. This is officially volume number 2, I guess. 10. If we was to analyze this in binary code. Tonight I'll be on my part of town podcast. Actually, we call it Noodle Free Mondays at Mr. C Twitch Gang. But I know since the Eagles is going to the Super Bowl, I know we're gonna talk about Philadelphia a lot. I know I can see it already. That's all Mr. BES gonna want to talk about. But we try to do some philosophical, psychological, sociological analysis of what's a noodle. Now, I don't know how deep we're going to go into that. We'll see. But I know we're going to get distracted quick because, our Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, let the beat ride. Now, where am I going with this one right here? The first episode I talked about the greatest verse of all time, and I didn't get much response. Nobody really wanted to share their comments, and that's the biggest concern with what's going on with hip hop and hip hoppers in general. It's like, yeah, we'll talk about this kid, 20-something-year-old got stumped and murdered by these black cops, but we won't talk about KRS-One's what album is that? Black Cop and Sound of the Police, Return of the Boom Bap album, right? We won't talk about the lyrics of that album and how that album's actually the template for what they tell us that Black Lives Matter is. And hence, what we have going on is the government telling us what Black Lives Matter. They defining us. What Antifa is, they defining what LGBTQ, they defining all these movements, and it's like, that's not really hip hop, right? That's not hip hop right there. This is hip hop right here. You see, way back in the days when hip hop began with Coca, Rock, Who Hurt, and then Band, B-boys went to the latest jams, but when they got shot up, they went home and said, damn. Right? We share them lyrics to help elevate the minds of the people. You know what I mean? Melly Mel started it off with what? Broken glass everywhere. People kissing on the corner like they just don't care. Can't take the smell, I can't take the noise. Got no money to provide, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back. Junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. Tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with a crowbar repossessed my car. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes that make me wonder how I keep going under, right? That was hip hop. Today they talking about some, shaking booties and titties and they want to be witty and all that kind of stuff. That garbage. Like, we was analyzing brand new thoughts, right? Like, I gave my top 5. I said, I just threw the numbers out there. I said, Big Daddy Kane number 1, right? Rakim Allah number 2, right? Cool G Rap number 3. So I had to add the gangster, right? Slick Rick number 4, the Ruler number 4, right? And then I put KRS-One number 5. Now, nobody wanted to have a discussion about why I put it in that order. And nobody wanted to have a discussion about the lyrics that they spit. You know what I mean? They didn't want to have, it's like, how we going to have 212? Yeah, I had technical difficulties right there. But y'all don't want to have discussions about the actual lyrics or about the greatest lyrics. You know what I mean? Like I use bomb atomically, Socrates philosophies. You know what I mean? Inspector Deck came at our next with that, right? And it's like, and then I'm dealing with on the aspect of how should I really move, what direction should I get? Because right now I have an 11-year-old son, like I keep letting y'all know. I call him a preteen adolescent. He's not 12, he's not 13 yet. And it's like, we play Pokemon. You know what I mean? Right now, Pokemon, I think they sold 4.5 million copies between, when it first came out. So you're talking about one of the top selling games in the worldwide. Like, but you're dealing with parents that's not adding parental guidance to their children. Like, they just put them in front of a PG-13 movie, and it's like they not there to share the understanding, the knowledge, the wisdom of the murder and the sexual deviancy and all that stuff that's going on in these movies. So that they're doing the same thing with these video games, right? But then you got the government coming and say, "Oh, it's the video games, it's the movies, it's hip hop, it's the music, right?" And it's like, nah, me and my son, we play Pokemon. We don't play that Call of Duty. You don't need to be on that. Like, we play Splatoon, so we do the gunplay a little bit, but we ain't on that. You know what I mean? And Pokemon is a throwback. I shared the art of an old game from Electronic Arts, right? The name of the game I used to play back in 85, 86 was Mail Order Monster, right? And this is way before Pokemon's time, right? Now, I do want to do like a videos on like reviewing old games and videos on reviewing Pokemon. Like, that's what a lot of these kids do. And they get a lot of views for sharing just their opinion on, their movie review or their video game review. But we as hip hoppers, we don't even do it with our own music, our own lyrics. We let them determine what music is, you know what I mean? Like, what, and then all they're gonna do is blame it, right? Like, when Kendrick said, when Kendrick spit it, how much a dollar really costs, the questions is detrimental, paralyzing my thought. Like, he was dropping that knowledge on us. But these young boys don't spit those lyrics, right? And they get mad at me when I step to them like, "Yo, you want to battle? Let's see if you know the lyrics of your own people," right? God forbid I, do some Kendrick or Lupe or Mick Jenkins, you know what I mean? Like, I start spitting the new kid stuff and they looking at me like I'm crazy, right? But that's all I really wanted. I just wanted to jump on real quick, you know what I mean? It look like I only got a minute left. And, you know what I mean? That, we'll come back to talking about Pokemon. Like, me and my son have been recording our battles, and I'll share some of that. And we're trying to make some little shows of us, like a cartoon spinoff of us battling on Pokemon. And I got for the older cats, if you're familiar with Mail Order Monster, you know what I mean? We can talk about those things, the older games. That was on my Commodore 164, because me and my son, I'm already teaching him how to translate binary code into a numeric system. I'm already teaching them how to, basically program in BASIC, which was the beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code. You know what I mean? That's what hip-hop is. It's an intelligent movement, right? And that's what we're doing it for. We're doing it for hip-hop, right? It's an intelligent movement, right? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. We try to achieve freedom, justice, and equality. We ain't here to shoot each other up. We here to share. You know what I mean? We about that peace, that unity, that compassion. It's all truth, love, and courage. Like, ain't afraid of the cops. We love hip hop. That's like that. One, God. That is. Check it out. Crazy mix, right? One. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Hip Hop Culture. This is your semi-host, full of therapy tautology. And today I'm going to be on the My Part of Town podcast tonight at 11:30. Still talking about, the culture and what we need to do to bring it back and take it to new levels. I just wanted to say a quick good morning to everyone. I'm still going to be talking about this word war X that's going on. In one corner, we got Ibram X. Kendi, young professor, 40 years old. He's the self-titled anti-racist activist, and it has his book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. He represents the left side of the pentagram, whereas John Mahorter, another established professor of the arts. Let me just look up his bio real quick. I should have been a little more prepared, but I'm gonna be real quick. Just, John McWhorter, 57 years old, and his book is called Woke Racism and How It's Destroyed Black America. So I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more on that and talk about how they pitting our brothers against each other, how anti is representing the Democratic side and how woke is representing the Republican side, and how they're using these two men or these two ideologies or trying to redefine what we are, black people, as being anti-woke. I'll talk to y'all more about it later on, but y'all have a good day. I'll definitely be on tonight, and I'll elaborate more throughout the day. One. God damn it. Yeah, I don't even feel like making this video, because I'm over here talking about hip-hop being a culture that's logically equivalent to a religion. You know what I'm saying? Now, even then, I'm really got to get into going into depth about epistemological tautology, and y'all want to act like, I don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm just making things up. That's why what's going on is real whack. Like even in Karis One's book, he says, hip hop is a culture. He spells it with a K. That hip means to know. It's a form of intelligence. Hop is a movement. It's an. Good morning. Welcome to Hip Hop Culture. This is your semi-host, Volothamp Tautology. And today,
where is he? Here we go. Keep the pace. This way. Oh, we're gonna get that son of a bitch.
No ticket. Yes! I'm late.
God! Where is he? There he is. On the ground now. Right now. This is the man. Right now. I need more Pokeballs. God, I need more Pokeballs. Go. Son of a bitch. Go. Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Ha! Here you go, sir. I got it. Oh. This is some good shit.
Really good shit.
It's no surprise. The apocalypse is upon us. And let's be honest, shit's about to go down.
Having been trained by the likes of M. Bison and Sagat, who better to show you the skills and technique for survival than from someone who has lost it all.
at Brad's Apocalates. You too will learn the ways of
the Siamese ninja roll, the Himalayan fucking joke, the Korean human sacrifice, the China ninja star, and the most important skill of all, American wisdom.
So if you lack the physical strength to outstand Korean drones, zombies, even your neighborhood crackhead, join Brad's Apocalates. Your life depends on it. Call 188-APOCALATES. It's an Arby's number, but they know me.
All right, perfect.
Oh, shit! Yes! Yes! Hey, shit is definitely popping off now.
This calls for a celebration. Random friend, order some pizza.
Wait a minute. You know, every time you order, it take like 2 hours, yo.
Yeah, man, you're right.
Au contraire, we can just get my white guy.
What white guy?
No. My white guy.
Hey guys. All right, what's the situation?
White guy. We need to get some pizzas over here, but we need it here in white people time.
No problem. How's it going? Yeah, we're gonna need 3 medium pizzas over here. If you can do that for us. Hey buddy, how you doing, man? Hey, hashtag White Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you think you get 3 pizzas over here for us? Hey man, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, 15 minutes and they're on the house.
The white guy does it every time.
Wait. Tell me more.
1-800-WHITE-GUY assists in talking to white girls who don't date black guys yet, seating at restaurants, acquiring loans, buying condoms, run-ins with the police, moments of sympathy, hitchhiking, finding the remote, even the cure for AIDS. Just ask Charlie Sheen. That's right, 1-800-WHITE-GUY. White privilege for everyone. And he doesn't sleep. He runs off of pure white power.
All right, fellas, we need to get this pool dug out by 3 p.m., so no slacking like usual. You hear?
No prob, Rick. We're on it.
All right.
Hey, is it true that we're digging on an ancient burial ground?
Yeah, I think Brad's right. I think this is an ancient Tokioli tribe's ground.
Look, I don't care what we're digging. I would dig up my own grandmother if I got paid for it. You hear? We two get down there and dig. You know, I hate smoke. It's the absolute worst. Jesus Christ. How's it going, morons? Going good, Rick. Thanks, man.
Yeah. He's a nice dude.
What ended up happening is, we went straight from Big Mama's house into the makeup design work that we did for X-Men First Class, which was a lot of stuff for Jen Lawrence. We had the Beast. The Beast ended up going to another shop, ADI, but we still had a good amount of work trying to kind of develop paint formulas and stuff like that, generally under the guise of Tim, to make this body makeup for the team on set. And then ended up happening going into Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter. So I did a lot of work on that. There's a bunch of witches. There's a big giant troll in that I kind of helped paint. It was it was me, Neil Wynn, and Tim Gore. So what ended up happening is now I'm in Los Angeles, right? Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to work in shops. And then I get a job on, worked for a company called Frontline Designs, who did a lot of Sam Raimi stuff. He did all the Spider-Man suits. And I got into this kind of like specialty costume kind of thing, because the superhero genre was really coming up. And I started working on Man of Steel, and I painted a lot of stuff that Henry Cavill wore, right? All the practical stuff that he wore. The suit? The suit. Yeah. I was doing a lot of paint work on that. And as far as, there's a lot of digital suit work in that movie, but there is a ton of practical work on that. We painted over 40 suits, suits.
All right, I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you like 3 questions.
Sure.
So, first of all, before I have one question, I want to jump back to a little bit from some of the stories you explained when you were doing the beauty stuff. But real quick, what did you ever have a moment hit you when you're painting Superman's outfit that you're like, I'm fucking painting Superman's outfit?
Oh, 100%.
Like
100%.
the iconic piece.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of that. I've had the honor, and I do it with a great amount of humility and gratitude when I work on kind of classic characters that are being reimagined. A lot, but I'm definitely a worker among workers, and it is a big collaborative process. And there is a team of artists that are always doing it. It is never one person doing anything at any time. Right, you have mold makers.
That's the way with all aspects of film,
and that's where the collaborative effort is. But I mean, it was really fun, and I didn't know that I was going to be on that show for as long as I was. So that to that date, that was the longest production run that I had on a shop. Right, because it was always kind of come in because I'm a painter by trade, so I generally work at the ass end of a build. Right, because we're usually
it's all together at that point.
All together,
we're
doing all the finishing work. And what ended up happening is I said, I'm in shops again, and I don't want to be here. And I started kind of looking to do more on-set stuff here. Here we go. Yeah, I'm just a worker in the makeup department. So my responsibilities primarily are for taking care of first team, doubles, stunts, splinter unit, second unit. I mean, whatever you need, pretty much.
And that goes from, regular makeup to special effects makeup to...
Right. I'm kind of an outlier in that sense, and we can get a little more into that. And I know that the show is kind of geared towards people that are interested in kind of getting into the film industry.
Right.
And I can talk about some of my experiences and how they've helped me stay employed as a makeup artist in the film industry.
Actually, a lot of the scenes between me and Alex were improvised.
Really?
That scene where me and him, where I go off and I grab him and I smack him and I tell him.
That was improvised?
The whole scene from the car.
God damn.
From the car until us
Shout
leaving.
the fuck out, bro. Good job.
It was us improvising the whole thing because we did it a couple of times following the script mainly. And then Pete, he would just come up to me. He's like, I want that coming from the gut. I want to see it in your eyes. I want it to come, let it all out. Nothing too fancy, you know what I'm saying? But somehow the way he talked to you, he would get that energy and he would give it off to you, so you could, you know what I'm saying, get pumped by it. So we improvised the whole scene. Actually, in one of the cuts, when I throw him in the car, I slammed the door too quick, so it was against his leg. So we had to take a break for 10 minutes because it was hurting so much. And then we did it again. And the slap, everything was unscripted. It was not in the script. It just happened that way. So and he loved that, man. Pete loves that shit, man. You know, he trusts you, and then at the same time you gain that trust back with the director. And if you could work in an environment like that, and everybody else on the set, oh my God, was so committed. J.K. Simmons, one of the most incredible actors I've ever witnessed.
OG,
absolutely. So this guy, right, who's he's incredible, winning an Oscar for Whiplash. So much respect from everybody. We're on the set, and I've met him before, so we had a brief chat, whatever. It was very nice. Very, very, very humble guy, very generous and talking to people and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is I'm doing the scene now with him at the end, where when we have the shootout. So suddenly we're doing the makeup, and I feel a tap, and I look, and it's J.K. Simmons. He's like, "Hey, can I just pitch you an idea for a second?" So this is J.K. Simmons coming to me and pitching me an idea?
No, I don't have time for that. Oscar award-winning J.K. Simmons.
Yes, absolutely. So he's like, look, I was talking to the real cop that he's portraying, and he said when they were shooting at each other, they both had 12 or 8 bullets, and both of them ran out of bullets at the same time.
Oh, shit.
At the same time. And my character, he threw the gun at him. So this was no one knew.
This is factual that happened in real life.
Yeah, and eventually made the cut because he told me that. I'm like,
you guys did such a great job with this movie.
So, so that's what I'm saying, man. Like when you work in that environment, it's just, oh man, it's I'm blessed, man, and all that hard work really paid off.
Dream gig.
Now, one time, didn't you go to a festival like Vermont or something? You guys stayed in a haunted house?
Yes.
Yeah, ITV Fest.
ITV Fest.
Now, what was this haunted house story? I heard about this story. They said these guys were like running around like scared children.
Oh, dude, we all slept in the same. We put all the couches together. We all had our own bedrooms.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, we put all the couches together. We all slept in the same room, snuggled up together. That's how scared we were, dude. It was ridiculous.
Both adorable and frightening at the same time.
Describe one of the hauntings. We need to know.
Well, that's the thing. Like we looked it up online. Apparently, the place was an old hospital, like an old children's hospital. And then we broke into the back area of the house, and there were all these old little hospital rooms with creepy kids' drawings on the walls and shit. Yeah.
It's an Airbnb?
Yes.
An old tuberculosis hospital converted to an Airbnb.
That's crazy.
And the other thing was there were only 2 bars in the place, in the little town. And everyone was like, oh, you're staying there? Oh, that place is haunted. Like everyone confirmed it. We're like, fuck! and so the other 2 guys, Rob, who was the director for Metal Detector, he was with me. That was the year that I won for that. Yeah. And those fuckers drop us off, drive down the street, get out of the car, and come running up and break into the back of the house while we have no idea. We're just home chilling, and we're sitting there talking, watching a movie, and all of a sudden we're like, "Did you hear that?" And then we kept hearing something, and then we heard someone running upstairs down the hallway. We lost our shit. I mean, that was it. And at the same time, his buddy was downstairs waiting. So he starts banging on the window. So now we run the other direction. And then finally, I'm like, fuck it, I'm out of here. And so I go out and I get on the phone. And keep in mind, I'm also calling Rob to make sure. At one point, we're like, they're fucking with us. They're totally fucking with us. Mm-hmm. So I'm calling Rob, and Rob's is all like, hello? No, I'm in bed, man. Like, trying to play it off.
He's like in a closet upstairs.
And then finally, I'm out in the front yard, and I call Rob. I'm like, you better be fucking with us. This better fucking be you. And then he could tell I was about to lose my shit. And he comes running out. And I'm like, motherfucker. Y'all
said something else like real kind of happened after that or something, or no? Or
that's Neil.
Oh yeah.
That's Neil seeing some stuff.
Yeah, he said he's seen some crazy stuff.
And he even has a whole video. He filmed like a majority of that because we were already fucking around with this camera, and he has all that happening on the camera.
Does he have footage of like orbs or like an apparition or something?
He's got footage of it.
A couple clips.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did a movie with. They're bringing back I Got the Hookup with Master P.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
And so I'm the button in the end of the second one, and they're shooting a third one in the next month or so that I'll be in throughout.
Wait, I Got the Hookup 3?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so he's really serious. Because it was it Fat Boy C and somebody else was like the main stars or something?
I had a scene with Mike Epps. And what the greatest thing about it is I play the toe-sucking bandit. So I'm like the token white guy of any black comedy. And I break into houses and steal jewelry and cash. And if someone happens to be sleeping in the bed, which is like this, it was this beautiful Dominican model.
Yeah.
Rosa Acosta is her name. And I can't help myself, and I have to suck on them toes. So I got that going on. Big news is our show Pros of Cons.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. We signed with a showrunner for 6 months.
Now, explain to the average person in Idaho what a showrunner is.
So basically, we have brought them on to sell our show. That's what they do. That's their job. That's their shit. And they get us in the door. We have meetings with Netflix. We're getting meetings with Comedy Central, TBS.
Nice.
Hulu's, all the fucking shit.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back and talk about pros and cons a little bit, because I want to give a shout out that you guys, Mike Hermosa, Lauren Bollock, and yourself were our inaugural first guests ever
Right.
on
Oh,
this
yeah,
show.
that's right.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Over a year ago, by the way, and thank you for that. I would direct our listeners to go view that episode, but tragically, it was lost in a
lost in the fire.
in the California fires. So it is not the video and the audio is not available currently. That's why we have to have all you guys back on.
So now we
And
just have to shout out Hermosa. And
Yeah, yes. And is there social for the show, like social media? that
Pros and
stuff
cons
is?
on Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
It's the pros of cons on Instagram. I'm pretty sure it's the pros of
the
cons.
pros and cons on Instagram.
I remember
Very
that
funny
from
pilot.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Explain, give people a pitch. So what's the show about?
Well, basically, it's it's myself, Richard Reel, Chloe. God, I can't think of her last name right now. And Michael Bashimi.
Yes.
And I play one of those assholes that gets up in his dad's apartment building that his dad owns. So I basically don't ever pay my rent.
Mm-hmm.
And I go out and dress up as a homeless man and panhandle.
For income.
For income,
Yeah.
Those
For
people
rent.
do exist.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
and it's fun though because I also take a one-eyed dog around with me and we do street shows.
The cutest one-eyed dog
yeah.
I've ever seen in my entire life.
You'd
by
never
the
even
way.
know it was missing an eye.
Right.
Where did you start when you got out here? Did you have contacts? Did you...
I came out with and keep in mind they filmed a lot in Charleston and in Wilmington. Like I'm even in some Dawson Creek episodes.
Oh, nice.
Hilarious.
Nice.
And I worked at Screen Gems as a security guard. I'll tell you a funny story, actually. I got fired personally from what's his name? God damn it.
It's real memorable.
I know.
Apparently.
The guy that owns Screen Gems, his father was a famous director. And the point is, I was a security guard and I had like 3 jobs because I won that damn car, remember? And so I worked the 12 to 8 in the morning shift. And so to stay awake, and they gave me the keys to everything.
Yeah.
And they were filming Muppets in Space during this time. And so I get in my golf cart, go and get Kermit, Miss Piggy, and Gonzo, put them in my cart, cruise over to the spaceship set.
Yeah.
And we sit up in the spaceship and get high as fuck. High as fuck. And I'm all like, Kermit, man, you got to lay off Piggy like that, man.
Oh, my
like,
God.
This whole fucking night.
I'm so jealous.
And then I put him back in the cart and put him away because, you know, puppeteers are fucking crazy. And so, I have the keys to everything. So I go into the guy's, God, why can't I remember his name? If you look up Screen Gems, it'll tell you who owned it. But I go into his office and I put my headshot in every drawer in his desk. and I get called the next day and they're like, you need to come in, please.
Uh-oh.
And I come in and it's him and he goes, I just had to fire you personally. And he goes, it's not about the ones in the desk, but you put them in the paper towel dispenser and I cut my finger on one of the damn staples. Because this is when you stapled your resume to the back of your headshot. This is old school.
Yeah.
And he goes, now come with me. And he walks me right next door to the Fincannon Associates who do all the casting. And they go, Mark Fincannon, come out here. This is the guy you need to meet. And he comes out and he goes, Kevin DeWitt. Yeah, because I go by there once a week with a FedEx envelope with my headshot and resume and run in frantically like, oh my God, I don't want to lose my job. This has to go to Mark right away. Once a week, like the 3 years I was out there. And it's a pretty good story. Right?
Great story.
Oh, Frank Capra. Yeah, Frank Capra Jr. Fired me personally.
Big name. That's an honor.
Yeah.
What is that festival process like, Mr. I'm the youngest producer to ever debut 2 features at Sundance in a single year?
Forbes 30 under 30, Eric Fleischman.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you guys all be my publicists? Collectively be my publicists?
Yeah, hype team.
What was the question?
So what is the festival process like? Because you submit, like, once you're accepted and premiering it there for the young filmmaker who's never been to a festival, let's say their film gets accepted.
Sure,
what
sure.
do you expect? Like,
So it's having gone to film festivals without films than with films. You know, you obviously realize how you should only go with films because you're just it's like you're either a you know a spectator or you're like treated like royalty. It's a real difference. So for like Sundance, you know, we've had films at Sundance and South by and Tribeca. Sundance is my favorite film festival in general, just because it's very small, not in terms of amount of people, but in terms of scope, right? It just exists on Main Street in Park City. It's like a mile. It's like a strip of land in the middle of the fucking like valley of death, of snow, and everyone is there, right? It's supposed to like South by and is in Austin is just the whole city, right? Tribeca in New York is the whole city. TIFF in Toronto is the whole city. It's not like you don't get a sense for like, you could like, I could go and walk down the street and go to a play. Sundance, it's just the film festival, right? There's nothing else there besides that. And so, you know, when you have a film in, as soon as you get a film in, you have to immediately hire a publicist, right? You have to hire a publicist for your movie. And the publicist gets to work immediately. You're dealing with logistics with the programmers. You have, you know, 120 people from the film that all want to come and you only get 30 tickets. So you're dealing with tickets and logistics and you're dealing with the press for the film, how to strategize it. The sales team is involved in the press as well because they're trying to give it the best positioning they can. And sort of this, and it's so exciting and it all accumulates to finally getting there. And it's very much, you know, a producer's job is to produce at the festival. So your job is to organize. I mean, literally when we were at Sundance, I had to organize everything from every single meal for every single film. Okay, where are we going for dinner this night? This movie's okay. Tonight, Carnage Park group is going to go to this restaurant at this time, and then from there we have an event for So like your calendar is just packed. And so during the days of the festival, you know, leading up to the premiere time, you are running around up and down the street with your cast and your filmmaker, going to all these different interviews with the publicist. It's like you're kind of like almost like you're their publicist. You're watching. You're sitting in the corner. Don't say that. Or like, talk about this, I think this works last time. Because what's happening is at a film festival, all the buyers are looking at you. They're looking at you and they're looking at all the other available properties that they can buy. And they're looking at the interviews, they're listening to the radio podcasts, they're watching the TV stuff, they're reading about it in the press, whatever it is. And it's informing their decisions on will they want to buy your movie and for how much they want to buy your movie for. And so that all accumulates to the premiere. You know, you're trying to pack that house. You know, in Sundance, you know, in the biggest theater, I think it's like 650 people. It's like they're really, really massive theaters. You want to make sure you're sold out, premiere, you know, after the premiere, if all the buyers are there, sprinkled around. And so you need that premiere to have this electric feeling. People need to be applauding, screaming, clapping, whatever. If your premiere falls flat, buyers will walk out. You know, my year, Swiss Army Man was there. And the famous story during the festival was in the first 30 minutes of the movie, most of the buyers left. Like, and that's typical, right? You're a producer sitting in your own theater and there's 150, 250, 350, 500, 650 people there. You see someone get up, you know that person's a distributor. And you know that movie's not for them. And it's always like, you sit the fuck back down. You sit down in your fucking chair.
Is that why you sit on the top?
You sit in the back, you sit in an aisle so you can see them. You're like, what's up? What's up? Not for you? Not for you? Okay, cool. Yeah. Don't call me ever again.
Have you ever had like a difficult artist, you know, one of your actors that you're working with was kind of like a dick about the whole promotion process or anything that kind of was difficult to work with at all?
Sure. And that's where we're going to end that conversation. The answer is yes, and you know who you are.
Hip hop was my first love. When I started in a dance studio, to be on their competition team, you had to take everything.
Yeah.
And I refused. I refused. I was like, I only want to take hip hop. So I took hip hop for 3 years. At one point, I was taking all 3 hip hop classes, like the beginner, the intermediate, and advanced. Why? I don't know. But my mom and the studio owner pulled me inside and they're like, okay, you're going to have to take something else as well because there's nothing else. And we think you'd be really good. And I was like, no, I just want to do hip hop. And I did that mostly because You Got Served. Like the movie was crazy, especially as a little girl watching that. I was like, this is it. I have to do this.
Yeah.
When I started taking ballet and other classes, my level of dancing just increased so much, like immediately.
Because you can apply all of it to hip hop, your love in your heart.
And it just made me more versatile. I started picking up faster, like picking up choreography faster. I started loving the other styles, even though I didn't want to do it. Like, I cried when I took my first ballet class. I hated it. It's like, I don't want to be here. And then I saw how quickly I started to improve. And I was like, oh, I need to be here. I want more. And it just helps. Like, I feel like I pull from all of those styles even today. And I don't necessarily take classes for ballet or jazz or even hip hop choreography. I mostly do freestyle now. But even when I do freestyle, I feel like I'm pulling from all the things that I've learned already. So it continues to help me.
I could just see you as like Neo in the Matrix, like getting out of ballet and like, put me back in. I know Kung Fu. I don't know how she does it. She's been in the chair 20 hours straight. Do you ever find yourself like that? Like those skills bleeding into your social dancing? Or like if you go to a wedding, are you gonna like tear it up and do like routine, or are you just gonna freestyle? Like, are you able to turn it off when you dance, like the technical aspect and the training? Or is it something that because it's there, it's always there? Like I know for singing, I can't turn it off. I have to be technical when I sing.
Yeah. Ah, okay. I can turn it off. Like, first and foremost, because I was a teenager in Tampa, Florida, going to teen clubs. So I can turn it.
People don't understand. Teen clubs was a huge thing in Tampa when I was young.
Oh my goodness.
Brian,
everyone was
whatever that name
hot
is.
and fast at the teen club.
Casablanca. We
Oh
had
my
black
goodness.
and white night. Every day. It was always themed.
Yes, it was always themed. It was just like at a perfect time, like in the summer when we had nothing to do. And me and my cousins would all go. We wear no clothes. I don't know who we thought we were, like little shorts. And we would just like, we called it like booty shaking, but now it's like twerking. We would just like twerk all night, like try to get some numbers on my little flip phone.
All right, and we are finally live. I'm sure you all have been waiting and salivating for the My Part of Town podcast, show about Philadelphia city life, crime, and everything that goes on, food, fun, sports, and all types of madness. And we appreciate you, especially if you have one of those things with a switch on it, because we don't want to see you come by our house. Excellent. So I'm a seating force, aka Poppy Carter, bad boy. I got my Westbrook jersey on today because being that nobody watches this show, I figure I might as well wear a zero as I do it. I am what they call a method actor. So I figure if I'm going to be alone, I might as well dress like I'm alone because that's how his jump shot goes, alone. All right, there we go. I also got my guest host with me, who just popped in, and he is also known as Volo Modulus Tautology, aka BMT, the Mastodon. What's going on with you, sir?
All is good, yo. All is good.
There we go. I was supposed to know about it. Excellent. So we're back in the game again. Usually we start the show, our first segment of the show is just basic wrap up, basic jibber jabber, house cleaning, etc., etc. Our Philly bio of the week is a gentleman named Fabian Forte, who I believe is some sort of singer-dancer from Philadelphia. I don't think he's African-American, but he might be John Forte's father. You never know. Those dang on Caribbeans love to make babies. But we'll see how that goes. Also, we do our wrap-up. What's going on, Volo?
All is good, man. You got a little late start or something? Or?
No, I started with Jiggy. I don't know why I didn't show up for you. It was when I was doing my sharing. Like when you texted me, I was in the middle of sharing the live video.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and then I started running around and throwing clothes in the wash dryer, yada yada. So,
nah, probably internet was probably down or something. Thing needed to reboot or something.
No, all right.
I'm sorry, I was. No, it was up.
No, all is good, man. I got my little nap in, so I'm rested a little bit, and the boys upstairs, he got me, trying to finish this, Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm trying to get him to understand the stock market plan, what's the name, and doing other mathematics, and the typical shit,
Yeah. That's the game. Yeah, same old here, just bumming and hanging. Rent check Ramadan, chilling back. knocking out the bills so I can have a good time in a couple of weeks. I guess we got holidays coming up. It's October, so we got Halloween coming up. Any plans on that?
Yeah, I want to do this Fright Fest. But we'll figure it out, man. I got to see how much it is and what days we can actually go, and the normal.
Yeah, I was
budget.
actually lucky. Go ahead.
No, the normal budget and trying to budget just in this damn bionomic times and shit.
Right. But yeah, I was saying I actually got lucky because when I went for my birthday weekend, it was the first weekend of Fright Fest at Six Flags.
Okay.
So not only did I have like the whole day and enjoying that, once it got dark, because it's getting dark and early, all night from about 6 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the morning, everywhere you walk in the park, so they turn out a bunch of the extra lights that are normally on. So it's like, yeah, it was so thorough, right? Because of course, I'm sure you're not allowed to get medicated herbally in Six Flags, even though you can kind of, I've seen people bowls and little stuff here like that. But it's like once the sun went down, especially because it was so dark in Six Flags, man, I was up in there chilling, like straight up, got the speaker in my head. I'm chilling in the middle of the park in the dark, just throwing, cuz like ain't nobody walking by for like an hour. I'm just like, oh, this is the shit. I got the whole park to myself damn near. Like, oh man, it's a great feeling. Now that's not the goal of going to amusement parks, but it was a plus after riding those friggin' roller coasters. So yeah, Fright Fest is the bug. That's excellent. Any other scams or plans?
Well, no, that's it. He trying to figure it out this year because he's his second year in middle school. So they do some kind of car they do bags out the car or something like that, kind of a thing.
Like a mobile trick or treating, like a drive-through trick or treating scenario.
Yeah, I forget what they call it. Yeah, the school kind of runs it, I think, and it's they do trick or treating out the trunks or whatever, something like that.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like that. Everybody pulls up and then the kids go around all the stuff, the little stops.
Yeah, but my neighborhood, we still do it as a neighborhood too. Like they pull out tables and everything around here. They already got all their houses decorated, so I'm the only one, slow rolling.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I hated once I started getting around 13 or 14, even though it was kind of time for me to stop trick-or-treating. I noticed how it was changing. So it was like there were two reasons why. Matter of fact, that's a good topic to talk about. When and why did you stop trick-or-treating? And what was the moment you knew, okay, let me take my ass motherfucking home, right? So this is my particular moment of when and why I started. Matter of fact, let me put that on the screen as a thing so I can do a good television show scenario here. One moment as we build while we fly. And it is Halloween. When did you realize it was time to stop trick or treating? Oh, I said tick, not tick, trick. There we go. I should say 304 or treating. Okay, there we go. Now you've ended the topic. So this was the time I realized that it was time for me to stop trick-or-treating. I think, I was about 11, 12, maybe 13 years old. I think I was still 7th, 8th grade, just about to go into 9th grade. And we were going out doing a normal trick-or-treating. I'm just like, I did notice that as time, and the first hint that I didn't notice as a kid was less and less houses were giving out candy. And I started to notice that less and less people. I remember when I was a kid, even in my neighborhood in Philly, really almost any neighborhood, you used to go outside at night in Halloween and the streets were alive with people. We used to even drive to other neighborhoods and shit to really clean up. You know what I mean? Like, then you go to our neighborhood and your parents would take you over here and you do this neighborhood and you come out and you got a trash bag full of candy and shit. And then people started putting razor blades in them. And another hint that I didn't pick up in as a kid, I'm like, man, I want all this candy, daddy. I eat the razor blade too. That shit probably good for my iron diet, right? So I noticed that was happening. So we going out this year and it was kind of dry. I was like, damn, it ain't really nobody out here. I started to notice that most of the people out trick-or-treating was like kids my age, like the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 kind of age, like where we still remember trick-or-treating, still love it, but it's getting close to that time. I was like, damn, this shit up. But anyway, trick-or-treating. And then what happened was we were walking down the street and I'm walking out my homeboys, like in the 8th grade, and then all of a sudden, like these 5 teenage guys came out and they had this one little kid with them who was like, he was younger than us. He was like 10 or 12, and he jumped out and he came running out by himself at first. And it was me, my homeboy Mark, and my homeboy Keith Waters, and my homeboy Sean Dorn. We 4 deep. And the young boy come out, and he's smaller than all. I was like, yo, man, give me your freaking candy. And he literally said, give me your freaking candy, man. We looked at each other like, get out of here, man. And then all of a sudden, like 5, 6, and these guys were probably only 1, 2, 3 years. They're probably 15, 16, 17. But to us, it looked like 5 grown men came out of the side because they're like man size. You know, once you get around 15, 16, 17, you're man sized even though you're still young in the face, right? So they come out and they're like, yeah. And my homeboy Keith, who is the largest, most portliest, slowest, most unathletic one of us, dog, he's shaped like the penguin. He breaks out calling himself trying to run. And we just look at him. And then the dudes look at us. And then we look at each other. And then we look at Keith like, the fuck is you doing, nigga? Like, of all people that breaks out and run, it shouldn't be the 300-pound 8th grader. So they steal our candy. And that was the night I realized, and I think just in desperation, I went somewhere else like, oh, I'm going to go over here because I got my candy robbed. I think my mom and them wanted to make it up to us. They took us I think they might have took us over your way and whatnot to get some makeup candy and whatnot. And, oh, man, I was like, you know what? That's it. I was like, I'm getting robbed because the older kids, because I always heard about people stealing candy. I even had homeboys that took a knife out with them. When we was in the stuff and they go like, I carry a knife with me, I'll go trick-or-treating because motherfuckers be robbing you and shit. And I'm like, yo, I never seen that happen. Then it happened to me. I said, you know what? At first I thought that's fucked up. Damn, young boy can't even go out here and get some free candy. But then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I bet you if we were really, really little, they probably wouldn't have robbed us. Or if it was kids with parents or really, really little kids, they probably left them alone. But since we're like 12, 13, it's kind of like we're doing a bank robbery to them. They're like, man, you niggas don't deserve it. Give it up. It's time for you to stop this kind of shit. Like, they basically was telling us that we was too grown. It's like them telling us what the Santa Claus situation was. That was when I realized, and that was in the 8th grade. When did you have your moment?
I can't even remember. I think it just didn't become cool when I became, 7th, 8th grade. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to remember. But actually, it might have been cool because my brother was 2 years younger than me. So, I think I might have still, just with him and Byron, we might have just hit our block and the next block over. Like, we ain't really.
Yeah, we ain't go far. Like back in the day, we used to go like everywhere. I used to walk all the way down to Wadsworth from my crib damn near back when I was young. And especially once we got enough to like go out without your parents, when you was like 8, 9, 10, and they started letting y'all go out in packs and shit. That was it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh man, I'm cleaning up. I'm coming home with trash bags out this joint. You know what I'm saying? And then it all like just changed and faded away. And then, I mean, of course you grow out of it, but it's like Santa Claus is usually a story. To like, damn, yep, I remember the year I knew it was over. It was, or like you didn't know, you don't remember when Halloween was coming around and you didn't care. You don't remember how old you were then?
Yeah, but I was like 13 and like 12 or 13. No. And I think when I turned 13, I was a camp counselor or whatever. Like instead of, so I think I remember us doing it with the church and everything. So like we did like the little Halloween party with like it was another church that we was at. So like that's what I think it kind of phased out that way because I was in the Cub Scouts.
It's a little kid thing now.
Yeah, I think I was in the Cub Scouts. I was like a Weeblo, so we was more into going to the church and everything instead of going knocking on people's doors door to door by that age.
Ah, okay. All right. There you go. So that's a good one. Anybody else that is watching or listening, you can throw your stuff in the comments or tell it your own way. Or even ask for the link, and we'll have you come on the show. Or you can even save it for another time and put in the link later in the replay and tell us the time that you found out that Halloween was no longer for you specifically, and it's for them. Because it took highway robbery by 7 men. It sounds like prison when I say it out loud. Anyway, I guess I'm sure that would happen in prison if you had too much candy too, by the way. Except with a little more violent backside ending. So that's that. That's a good segment there. Oh, so let's do a couple of our other segments we tend to forget about. Let's do this early. Can we do Ziggy's SAT and slang word of the day?
Oh, wow. Where's this thing at?
Well, he probably out stabbing somebody behind your back. Yeah, Bolo got one of these AI robots called Ziggy and whatnot. Or something. I don't know what it is. And he be plotting Bolo's murder.
What's the word of the day? Ziggy, what's the word of the day?
Okay, here is the word of the day from the SAT Word of the Day skill. Today's SAT prep word of the day is artifact. It means something made by humans and often is a primitive tool, structure, or part of a functional item. It's spelled ARTIFACT. Here's how you use artifact in a sentence. Archaeologists recently found a new artifact in the ancient city of Pompeii. If you're enjoying your SAT word of the day, check out your dictionary's celebrity quote of the day skill.
Nice. So artifact is the word of the day. So I always have to use the word of the day in a sentence. Artifact. If you ever get to see the inside of my ex-girlfriend's vagina, you will find several ancient artifacts named Pookie and Ray Ray. Word of the day, artifact. Slang word of the day, Bolo.
Ziggy, activate slang word of the day.
Okay, here's slang word of the day.
Today's slang word of the day is fam. It means a very good friend or people you consider family. Here's how you use it in a sentence. What are we doing tonight, fam? If you're enjoying your slang word of the day, check out your dictionary's SAT word of the day skill. Find and enable it in the Alexa app by searching SAT word of the day to start learning.
Now that's what I'm talking about. The slang word of the day is fam. Now, if you don't know, this show is the My Part of Town podcast, which is based on an old Philadelphia classic song called My Part of Town. Yeah. The word fam is basically our word. Us, people in St. Louis, and people in Oakland. I don't know how it jumped all those states, but it has. And fam has been used for at least 30 straight years. So what's going on, fam? What's happening, fam? So I like how the slang word of the day, which is usually universal, understood that today is about Philadelphia. We have changed the algorithm, Bolo.
Yes, we have.
It also means we're first up for death and the detainment once it takes over. Good. All right, that's comforting, right? At least we won't have to go through the pain. All right, so another entertainment segment. I think I'm going to do a lot of our funner segments early and then get into the technical stuff with videos and analyzing. So it's the gaming report time and whatnot. Volo speaks and stuff. What is going on in the gaming world for you, Volo?
Yeah, it kind of started the show with that because that's, I try to use gaming, as educational tool. So with what's the name of the game again? Animal Crossing. Mm-hmm. We're checking. I'm buying 6,000 turnips on Sunday, and then so this is my second week of doing it, and every day I'm checking the prices morning and night and afternoon.
How has that been going, by the way?
Well, I did over a week, and today is Wednesday, so I got 6 measurements this week. This week is horrible. Like I haven't cleared over $100 per turnip.
Wait. So are you telling me that Joe Biden is even ruining the economics on Animal Crossing?
Exactly.
Animal Crossing need to vote for Trump too. I don't even like Trump, but shit, we got to change something or vote for me, Carl Anthony for president. Which, as you look at me, I do not look presidential, but trust me, I can ruin this country just like anybody else.
Like I had one good day last week. I had one good day last week of like 155 or something like that, and this week it's totally. I think it was $65 a day, and I'm buying them at. Well, I bought them at 110 this week, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm writing down all the numbers, and what we're doing is we're going over all the numbers. But today was the first day I started explaining how we're going to input it in on numbers, which is comparable to Microsoft Excel. It's a spreadsheet.
Now I got a question.
Okay.
Does the game recognize days, dates, holidays, and times of the year?
Yes, it does.
Does it have its own holidays, or does it go by hours?
It goes by hours, but they change the name a little bit. Sometimes.
I got a trick for you. I'm gonna teach you about. Okay, this is your Carl Anthony Stock Market for Dummies tip of the decade. If you ever want to get in the stock market, whether it's $100 or $10,000, this is how the stock market works. All holidays, it peaks. You want to know why? Because just before the holiday and just after the holiday, everybody is buying stuff to prepare for and follow up on the holiday. So all businesses get an influx of money, which therefore increases their stock price. But in between holidays, everybody's pulling back because they just spent money. So what happens is, in between holidays, the stock market goes back down. But if there's, let's say there's a voting time, then the stock market might go back up because of the voting. Let's say there's a tragic situation. It'll go up because of that. Let's say, so in every holiday, basically all year, it's like New Year's, back down. Valentine's Day, back down. Memorial Day, whatever, back down. And it just does it. Then it says Easter, back down, all year long. And you can literally buy and sell banking on this. I have practiced it. I took $200 into the Cash App thing, and I cashed out $2,000 in a what, like 2 years of just me picking Jones and just sitting. $200 turned it into $2,000 in 2 years, literally doing this method. And anytime I notice, here's another tip too that goes along with it. You notice how tip prices get really high. If a price of something gets really high, similar to how Bitcoin got, recognize that the high is too high. And the minute you see it go back to the price that you normally expected it to be typically at, or you see it going back towards that, get the hell out of there. Because most likely once it peaks, it's not going to go back up there again. You kind of lost it. It's like once something's bought out, it's bought out. So remember that. Holidays. Anytime there's something major going on in society, people go out and buy. It increases the business's influx. They report it as money. The stock market goes up. And then when you're in between, if you're one of those in and out day traders, get your shit out in between, put your shit back in right before. Out in between, right back before. But you got to determine when you're going to take it out and whatnot by watching it, similar to the 2 times a day thing. Did that help with any kind of clarity on how the stock market works there, Royal?
Oh yeah. That's how it kind of works. I mean, comparing it to the game.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah. Well, the game is
like, dog. Look at the stats. 200 years, the stock market has never gone down. All it does is it goes up, then it comes back down. Then what they do is they inject money into it and print more money. It shoots back up. Then it comes down some. Then they put more money. Basically, I told this in my money speech. They keep pouring more water in the bottle to keep the stock market from finally, you know what I mean, going all the way down. So anytime they get scared or just like the shutdown stuff, they throw a bunch of shit in there to kind of pump it back up for a second. Once again, just like how people buy and pump up the stock market. When the stock market is down, the government throws stuff back out there to basically faux pump it back up, which some people call a bubble. And that's how they save it. You know what I mean? So it's oh man, but if you got a lot of money and you know this pattern and you just watch like Volo is checking twice a day on that game app, and it's twice a day, and you can treat the real stock market like that. It seems like it's a video game and it's just a game. No, that game is trying to teach them real stock market for the average dummy mentality. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's how I figured out my little pattern.
The only difference is they do You have to sell them by the end of the week because the turnips go bad.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, even in theory, because in stock, dog, you can invest in tomatoes, onions, water. The people that you're investing in, do they not have to sell it by the end of the week?
Yeah.
And if they don't, what happens to your stock?
Go down.
Yeah. So is it different?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, so last week we was able to buy them at $95, I would say, but I was able to sell them for $550.
Nice.
And then this week we still early. Still got 3 more days to sell them, but right now it's looking like we might take a loss. But I might have a few connects and be able to get a good deal though.
Question: is there alternate investment options?
Well, we really don't want to talk about that because
the SEC is listening.
Yeah, it might be a little insider thing, whatever.
Okay.
Remember you started giving me a lecture on it being an insider, like I mean, I said too much,
Yeah.
So,
No. I got a little insider trading in my past. I spent some
TMI.
Telling other people. I'm trying to get around Martha Stewart, like. Let's see. I don't know. Allegedly. Of course, I would never.
Yes.
There we go. Excellent. Any other video game stuff?
And then he's trying to teach me how to play Sonic the Hedgehog, and I didn't get a chance to play Zelda, so I'm still in the same thing with Zelda.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to play a little Final Fantasy 12. So that's all I'm doing. Just trying to get a little gaming in whenever I can, but mostly be reading and writing and having fun and doing other educational stuff too. That
nice.
The typical school years going on.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. And is the school closer to where you're at, or where old girl at?
Huh?
Is the school close to where you're at?
Oh yeah. He walks.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's less than a mile. It's it's like 6 blocks or so.
Nice. Well, that's sweet. I'm up in here hot. Excellent. Any other video game wrap-up stuff?
Nah, not really. Well, I'm still doing the the measurements on AI with Grand Theft Auto and how the police react, but I ain't really got a chance to do that either. I'm just doing the research. I don't know what else to elaborate on it. I do want to get that iRobot book and start maybe reading one of those. I see that it's several different editions or authors.
You said a book?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna add that for a segment too. Let's do that. Book of the day. What is your book suggestion?
Well, I'm doing iRobot. Like I've been collecting a lot of sci-fi books and stuff. What is it? 1984. A couple of them I already have on my phone. But one that I'm looking at is iRobot. There's an original one that I don't have in iBooks or anything like that, but I do see the original cover. I think it's from the 1950s, but then he redid it in the 1970s. But it's a short story kind of a thing. The iRobot, and just to coincide along with the movies, and then I'm trying, and relating it to the Matrix. And what we're calling it is, because right now we're technically in the algorithm phase of these, robot take over the world kind of scenarios.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm gonna see one.
So that's why I've been calling it. What is the algorithm? And
right.
We're dealing with because even in the Matrix, it's like the beginning of AI is when he explains it to him. Then AI is what did us in. Right. So iRobot is another, AI is going to do us in kind of a story.
Right. All right. Well, cool. Well, let's watch a short review on that too, because that's a great topic, and it also expands the intellectual capacity of the show and us, because we do read here, even though I don't. I think all books should be burned tomorrow, but I think reading is important also. Okay, so that's it. That's just me, though. That's just because I went to Philadelphia public schools. This is what they trained me to do. Destroy, destroy, destroy. Did you not see the riots? Nobody was reading during that riot. That's all I know.
And he wasn't, taking over the or robbing the free libraries.
No, they weren't robbing no free libraries. They want nothing in there. They went back there. They that shit was cleaner after the riot. It's like, damn, nigga, like, did we hire some new niggas to clean up? Like, nope, rioters came by, made sure this shit was extra nice. Make sure nobody ever touched this bitch. Yeah, that's just the game. Well, let me get the full title.
Look like you got the original book. That looks dope.
Yeah. I think his name is just good enough for the fair use. Save it here. All right. Let's check out Mr. Brian Lee Durfee reviews video on the iRobot. And let me turn the sound down for my music. It's always something. Technology. All right, nice and low. That should be fun. Let's see what he's got to say.
The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. And I'm here today to review I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. Yeah, I've had the Foundation trilogy for quite a lot of years, and I just reviewed all of those on the channel, the first 3 Foundation books. But it got me interested in Isaac Asimov's other work, and so if you saw a few book hauls ago, on one of my book hauls, I ended up showing that I bought all the Isaac Asimov novels, including all the robot novels, like the iRobot series, which you've got here, the Naked Sun, Caves of Steel, Robots of Dawn, Robot this, Robot that, and Robot everything else. And so I thought I would start with the first book, iRobot, and see where it took me. Well, I'm telling you, folks, I didn't realize it was just a collection of short stories. It has came out in 1941. The short stories were written between the years 1941 and 1950.
Huh.
Now, this is the cover, the cover that I think it might be the original cover. There is no notation of who the illustrator was. I do think this is a very dynamic cover. I love the illustration. I think it's perfect. We always review the covers here, so that's out of the way. Now, let's talk about the book. I didn't realize that it was just a book of short stories. Like, it was sort of a precursor to the novels that followed.
Pause that right there.
And I guess these 2 are short story compilations.
Well, did you know it was a short story compilation?
Yeah, and but that cover isn't the original cover. I got a picture of the original cover.
I seen some girl. She had some orange looking cover.
Yeah, it's the original cover is it's a robot on there, like, kind of looks, like a Muppet robot.
The one that the girl had, it was like all orange and shit.
Yeah,
like kind of like down here in the corner. But anyway,
we'll figure it out as I go through them, and I don't know how long it'll take me to read these series. And when in the next 10 years or so, all of these books will be reviewed on my channel eventually. But right now, let's do this. I didn't realize it was just a collection of short stories. This bears no resemblance to the Will Smith movie at all. I can't even draw one single parallel between the Will Smith iRobot movie and this book, which I don't know why they called that. I don't even know why they made the movie and called it iRobot. The only thing I think that the only comparison I can draw are the rules, the robot rules. The 3 laws of robotics, I think, were mentioned in the Will Smith movie. And I'll read them right here because they're the opening thing. A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first rule. Rule number 2, a robot must protect its existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first and second rules. okay, that's pretty cool. That's the opening of the book. And I'm like, okay, we're off to a good start there with the first 3 laws of robotics. But then I didn't like anything else.
Huh.
Didn't like one single thing. I mean, well, that's not true. There was some cool things in this. One of the cool things I liked about this was the dialogue, which was very old-timey. I mean, people were like, Isaac Asimov makes up his own thing, like how we've got, great Scott, like people like exclamations like, great Scott, what have you discovered? And iRobot, it's like, sizzling Saturn, what was that? Or, sometimes we're like, by Jove, what has gone wrong here? They're like, jumping Jupiter, or, just the exclamations just are like, it's like he's making weird shit up off the top of his head, Sizzling Saturn. What kind of dress are you wearing, young lady? That's just, they're scattered. It's just kind of cute, more than anything.
I bet you're excited to read this, Volo.
Like I've been reading 1984 a lot. Like I read it, but then when you go back and just like really kind of analyze it and the language and the different times that it was written in, it's just weird because it reads a lot different than. It's just weird, like, what I'm saying?
It's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you saying that for? It's like they trying too hard to be futuristic and shit.
Yeah, but it's dope. But 1984 is dope as shit. It is on some hip hop type shit. Like this shit is bugged out. It is, it's the same guy that wrote Animal Farm. Animal Farm does read a lot different. But I'm sure when I was a kid, we read a different Animal Farm. Like we didn't read the original author, So there's new authors that rewrote the iRobot. It's not just this. What's his name again?
Isaac Asimov.
Yeah. So I did see several books written after him on the same concept that might have influenced Will Smith a little more so than that book did.
He probably took pieces from all the books.
Yeah. So.
Okay. We got another minute and a half left. So we'll finish this up.
So this comprises a bunch of short stories, somewhat tied together. The first short story is called Robbie the Robot, set in 1998. So, and this little girl has a robot that lives with them in the house like a pet, and she gets way too attached to it, and her parents become way alarmed, and they're like, well, what do we do if our little girl falls in love with the robot and blah, blah, blah. And so the different things happen. And then, so this is basically like short stories, a compilation of about 9.
Bolo, would you say that story was really a dramatization of having a black man in the house?
There's probably a correlation. Yes, probably a correlation.
Like correlation.
9 short stories. Talking about.
What did we do? She falls in love with it. Yes. Okay. Okay.
The most prolific writer.
All right, everybody. I'm Brian Lee Durfee. Together into the same universe. It's average to me. This book was average to me. I mean, I'm going to keep it because I love the cover and I love the Michael Whalen covers on all the other books. And I think these are all novels, and I love novels more.
If you look at the other books, we always have an individual person standing in the middle.
All of Isaac Asimov's,
and that's I think how the iRobot original one was.
So we're actually kind of reading the same universe as the Foundation trilogy, but just like tens and tens of thousands of years before the Foundation trilogy with these robot books. So it is kind of like I'm still reading the Foundation stuff. This was a letdown. I gotta be straight up honest with you. It's a bit of a letdown for me, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I can tell Isaac Asimov can write very well. He writes very well. And the cover is very funky and super. And I got to give this a very, very, very average 5 out of 10, folks. 5 out of 10. I think the writing is solid enough, and some of the stories were interesting enough that it makes it average to me. But I just don't like short story compilations. So that's more on me.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. All right, good stuff. Great job for Brian Lee Durfee Reviews. Check out his channel. Check out his videos as he does his thing. So great, great, great. Any final commentary on the iRobot series or book motivations?
No, not right now. I'm still at the early phases of, designing it and comparing it to what what I'm calling the algorithm. Because right now the algorithm is shutting me down everything I say that's not, likable.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, ain't no making no jokes. It ain't no commentary that even could be misconstrued. What you say? Punch him in the side. Like,
But it was funny because I guess you tagged me to it originally. So I go to it and I'm laughing because it's like, yo, dude straight called him a bitch ass nigga. Like, that shit is hilarious. So I'm laughing out loud. Like I do the laugh emoji. Like, and it's just like I will punch him in the emoji. This is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, you can't say that. That's
nope. Inciting violence. They ain't playing, guys. Man, you can't even joke. You can't joke about shit. You can't.
I would punch him in the emoji, and they was like, no, do it again. We'll give you 30 days.
Right. All right. Yeah, somebody was talking because the platforms are killing, but I get it. It's private business. They got to protect themselves. But they did say there's some kind of, I don't know if it was Ustream or Usting or something, but somebody said there is another site where for $200 a month, you basically get your own platform. It's pretty much like how they're trying to do it Rumble, where you can kind of do whatever you want. But this one is fully do whatever you want. You can do super chats. You don't pay anybody a percentage of everything. You just pay them the monthly fee, and you just get access to basically a YouTube style location that you can send to your own website, where basically people can come and watch videos and stuff like that on your site, and they can donate and chat and comment and all that stuff too. But of course, if you ain't got an extra $200 a month to waste, what's the point, right? But wow. big people that's got the money or the success in your social media career, that's a great idea. If I had like a big following, I would definitely do it and make my own and just use YouTube as like a driver to say, okay, first half of the show is going to be on here. Then at the 2-hour mark, we're going to go to my channel where we can just let loose, and talk about everything and not get banned or blocked or demonetized.
Yeah.
Well, that is the future of things. Great, great, great. I was just taking a look around. What's going on in Philadelphia? What's happening in the city?
I don't know. We need a BAS today for that report.
Okay, we'll do a Philly news, a lazy version of a Philly news report.
Okay.
We're going to use NBCPhiladelphia.com as the Jiggy and give them their fair use, and we'll go through their site, go over a couple of their stories, and talk about that stuff. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So this first major story says, man killed after shooting 3 officers following an argument in a Philly home. Talk about losing it. Let's see what we got here.
Well, Fred, first of all, I can tell you that police came out here around 9 o'clock tonight to give us an update. They told us that 2 officers were shot in the leg. Another sergeant was shot in the hand, his finger to be exact. Of course, like you said, they were rushed here to Jefferson Torresdale Hospital shortly after 7 o'clock tonight. And they say this all started because of video games.
Oh, geez.
You can hear an officer calling out the moment he shot in Ronhurst tonight. Investigators tell us a father shot 2 officers and a sergeant as he waited for them at the doorway of his Whitaker Avenue house.
Coming as the first one to gun party with assignment. Juveniles called in for male shot 2 times.
We're told it all started with a 12-year-old boy playing video games inside the house. Police say that led to an argument between the boy and his father, and then the father and the boy's uncle.
From my understanding, it was something along the lines of it may have been, too loud or something that agitated the father.
The acting commissioner tells NBC 10 a shot is fired inside the house by the father. As the boy and uncle ran upstairs, he says the father followed and shot the uncle. The dad then waited for officers firing his gun and shooting them. They were rushed to the hospital.
I thank their families for the sacrifice that they make. There's a lot of upset people in there that had a good outcome, but still emotionally traumatized.
The investigation is far from over, but police say at least 3 officers fired their guns, including 2 who were shot tonight. The father is dead. The focus now is on those recovering officers and the young boy inside that house.
Glad he was able to, gather himself and call 911. But yeah, what a tragic situation that young man is going to have to deal with.
Man, so of course, lots of recovery for everyone involved in this case. We're told the uncle, of course, was also rushed to the hospital. He remains in critical condition tonight. For now, we're live outside of Jefferson Torresdale Hospital. Aaron Baskerville, NBC 10 News.
Thanks. Crazy commentary on that, Bolo.
It's hard to understand what's going on, but at the same time, it's bugged out, man. We wow, I don't want to just throw false information out there, but it's got to be more to it than a loud video game.
It's definitely more to it than a loud video game. It's the common stress that people are under. Where a dude obviously snapped. If you arguing with people in the house, and then you start arguing with the uncle, and y'all start shooting at each other, and then you come outside and you like, okay, now it's time to shoot it out with the cops.
Yeah,
that's way bigger than the video game. But the sad part is, video games will be blamed.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, the boy's playing. I guess maybe the uncle is younger. But they already had something else going on. You always hating, type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the people don't know how to deal with stuff, so they go get a goddamn pen, dude on some, this is my house, bow, type stuff, and now you outside dead. That's a shame for that. RIP to that gentleman, and best luck to them. Let's check out another story from 7 hours ago. Actually, you know what? Let me go back here. I'm just trying to do it right from this page. It goes here.
And police have arrested the biker in this viral video. They say shows him smashing a woman's car windshield and pulling a gun on her in front of her own kids. The community has rallied to help the woman fix her car. And NBC 10's Karen Wallace spoke to those who helped and heard from police about how the public helped catch the biker.
Today, police arrested 27-year-old Cody Heron after 2 days of tips on who the biker in this viral video could be. Here, he's allegedly seen smashing a woman's back windshield, headbutting her, and pulling a gun, all while she had 2 young kids in the car.
His violent, lawless behavior is totally unacceptable here in City County.
We went to Heron's neighborhood in Frankfurt today, where neighbors tell us police were there for about 7 hours last night, where they found his bike, gun, and other evidence. While police worried about the suspect, Otto Hernandez took care of the victim.
That girl got her window stomped in on in City Hall. So if y'all know me, y'all know her, link us up.
Hernandez has specialized in car glass for 20 years now, opening his own business. The internet worked its magic, connecting Hernandez with the woman in the video. Hernandez replaced her back windshield for free.
I'm just glad I could help. I'm glad I could be a positive figure in the city of Philadelphia in such dark times.
Now the DA's office charging Heron with assault as well as other crimes, and police discussing how they can curb the issue of dirt bikes and ATVs for good.
We know that people are fed up with the ATVs running around and with people committing this type of violence. The tourism industry, everything gets affected by what's happening in the city.
We utilize some smart ways to try to attack the problem, but at the end of the day, chasing them throughout the city is not going to be good for anybody.
In Center City, Karen Wall, NBC 10 News.
Cops got some guidance saying, no, we're not doing that stop the bikers, arrest the bikers bullshit. Fuck that. Commentary, Rolo.
I didn't understand that story at all. But
well, basically what had happened was it was a road rage incident. 1 second, let me pause this. It was a road rage incident. She probably cut him off. You know how people on motorcycles and bikes are like, "Oh, you're a jerk." So the guy basically on some piss shit ran up and dove on her back of her window and broke it out and shit, right? And then when she got out the car, when you look at the video, it looks like a dude was getting out the car, but not that was a chick. walking up to a man like she was about to knock him out or something. I'm like, shorty, he could have just really hurt you. But he bumped it. They both bumping heads, and then he kind of headbutted her with his helmet, like back the fuck up off me because she was in his face. And I guess he pulled a strap on her after that, and then he left, right? Everybody, the Puerto Rican homie helped her out. We placed her glass. The cops, the DA and all the people that love to put black people in jail, like, yeah, we need to start arresting these guys. They're trying to. Number one, people been riding them goddamn bikes and mopeds and four-wheelers in the city for 30 years. And this is the first time I've ever heard of something like that. How about you, Bolo?
Yeah, I had one that I didn't want to I didn't cut him off, but I was trying to merge over to the left, but he was flying up to 95.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean? Lucky I do, drive with 3 different, making sure I got good distance and everything. So I saw him, you know what I mean? But I ain't he was moving. Them bikes move fast as hell.
Yeah.
So, but if I was somebody else, he definitely got fucked up.
Yeah, he got hit. You know what I mean? But the point is, you haven't had a negative issue like, oh, you missed, and then he stopped his bike and started smacking the side of your car.
Yeah, and try to headbutt me, and no, that ain't going down like that.
No, that ain't happening. Like I'm saying, this is a one-time in a 30-year incident. We're not changing shit. Okay. So let's see what else we got. I guess they got a Philadelphia City bike ride coming up. They got.
And I'm like going back to the verse because that whole video game thing bugs me out because it's like I'm trying to put the positive games out there. So it's like I'm playing Sonic the Hedgehog and Animal Crossing and shit, and then it's like they might have said something if it was Grand Theft Auto that they was playing.
Oh yeah, they would have definitely said something if it was Grand Theft Auto. Definitely. Okay,
so it's like, what game was they playing?
Right?
Scooby Doo and shit. I think it's a young kid though, right? The first one. I think that first story was a very young kid though, wasn't it? Like a 6-year-old, he said, or something.
Yeah, it was like a 6 to 10-year-old. It was like a younger kid that was playing the game, but it sounds like because I can't picture that he gets in an argument with a kid, and then somehow this argument leaks over. Like, what's the uncle do? Man, don't be yelling at your son like that. Like, no, he ain't. I don't know no uncle that says that. So what I suspect is they're playing the game together, and Pop was probably just yelling upstairs and shit, and then this nigga interjected in his father, and he got on some my house, I'm the dad type shit.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Like, boy, don't be usurping my authority in front of my son.
Yeah.
All right, so let's check out this other story. I guess we got a fluff story. It's Philadelphia bike ride in LA. They do what's called Bike LA, where they cut off a whole portion of the city so people can just ride bikes around. Let's see what they got to say.
Philly Bike Ride is back for its 2nd year, and get ready for 20 miles of car-free biking throughout Philadelphia. Karen Schaufeld from Philly Bike Ride joins us this morning to tell us more. Karen, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, last year was the inaugural event, and it was a huge success. What's in store for this year?
Well, yet again, 20 miles of car-free biking, getting to see all of the Philly sites. We'll go past Center City, Independence Hall, Penn's Landing, Boathouse Row, Kelly Drive, everything that we know and love about Philadelphia. And I believe there's a stop at Rita's Italian Ice as well. So it's going to be amazing.
That's certainly a nice treat after all of that biking. This event is also a partnership with the Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. How has that partnership enhanced everything that we can expect?
Well, it's been wonderful. Last year, we were able to raise and donate $15,000 towards that partnership. And this year, we hope to exceed that. And in addition, we will be donating 100 new bikes to second graders during the school year who otherwise couldn't afford them. It's all about just promoting safe cycling as well as giving people an opportunity to see the city in a different way, to really appreciate the ability to ride through the streets unimpeded and safely and just experience Philly in a different way.
Notice there are no black
It's a
people on
great
these
way
bikes.
to stay active. It's a fun way to stay active, especially
You know,
when you're
sister
doing
girl
it with
right
a
here
large
ain't
group of
biking on
people.
shit.
What else do people need to know about the ride on October 14th so that they can either sign up or prepare?
Well, it's the first thing to know is it's not a race. It's a ride, and it's for everyone to have fun, all ages, all abilities, lots of different types of bikes. So it's really just more about the fun and the experience. And of course, get online at Philly Bike Ride and sign up. If you don't have a bike, you can rent a bike. So that's helpful. And there's also a shorter.
Now, also in LA, they got just groups of bikers that just kind of roam the city. So every once in a while, you'll be riding around on a Friday or Saturday night, or you'll be out, and then you'll see like 400 bikes go by. So they almost like sometimes even have like their own little ride meetups. It's like the cool thing to do on a Friday night if you're a bicycle rider.
Like the Harley dudes.
Yep. You know how the motorcycle and the horse guys, they get them, they just go on a Friday, Saturday night, go out just to ride around the city type shit.
Yeah.
They do that with bikes here in LA. Like it'll be like, dog, I'm talking like 500 bicycles. Like you'll be sitting there waiting. Like they'll even have 2 bikes cut off the street so everybody can just come through and shit. And they'll be going down Hollywood Boulevard. Like they don't care.
Course, a 7.6 mile course for those who don't want to do the 20 miles. But boy, every mile, those 20 miles is really spectacular. So if you can do that, go for it. But as I said, it's a ride, not a race.
So Karen, you really thought of every rider in terms of accessibility and giving them options to be able to enjoy the ride at their own pace. Once again, the Philly Bike Ride is happening Saturday, October 14th, and you can get all of the details you need in the Philly Live section of NBC10.com or the NBC10 app. Karen Schaufeld, thank you so much for joining us on Philly Live, and happy riding.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, happy riding, because I'm not going to be at that bitch.
Well, actually, I'm gonna shoot that to Il Product because him and Boone got some real nice bikes.
Oh, word. Yeah, they probably want to do that.
Yeah, they got some nice bikes. They just I guess I seen L with a helmet. I know Boone don't have a helmet though. I gotta get him a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I gotta fix my bike up. My bike's a little, my tires is a little low.
All right. Well, shoot, I ain't goddamn riding no motherfucking way. So this is another story. It says thieves steal $73K worth of crabs from a truck in Philly. Wow, $73,000 in crabs, yo.
Wow. I mean, how many pounds that is?
God, you would think $2 million to steal. They stole 184 cases.
Wow.
Of clusters valued at $70,000. After thieves stole $73,000 worth of crabs from a truck in Philly early Wednesday morning. Shout out to the mob. It fell off the friggin' truck here, Buck. No, the crabs fell off the truck. They can walk. That's what they do. You sell them a lot. That's how it goes, right?
They can walk.
Like these are crab legs. There's no even crab body. How they walk? Hey, do you like crabs or not? Huh? Come on.
No, those Jones were still alive. They had to be still alive.
Right? Police responded to this would progress outside of the 1800 block of Germantown Avenue and whatnot. So down like North Philly and shit. When they arrived, they spotted. So when you cross Broad Street and go to the other side, and Germantown goes to the lower numbers. It was like right before there and shit. Like right before you get down where that angle comes down from our way. That's where it got stolen from. Right. Matter of fact, Volo, right where you got, right where we used to go to Denny Street. I mean, go for the green, not the green and whatnot over there. Yep. Back in the day, right over there, which seems like the perfect place to rob somebody. The operator of the truck told police he didn't hear or see anyone take the items in the container that was broken into had been locked with a metal seal and a padlock, investigators said. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been watching a lot of that Gen V from the Boys Universe and DC Comics movies. I suspect that there is a hybrid shark going around and in these large amounts of crabs to survive off of, and it has broken out and it is breaking into places and stealing food. But it is not for sale. It is simply hungry. That is what I think is actually happening. Call Philly police and give them a tip. Excellent. So that's a great story. What's your comments on that story right there?
You know, I wonder if the way that I can catch them on film.
Right? Go down to North Philly. Go down to 18th and Duncannon and wait. What do you mean? Go down to 18th and Germantown and just wait. And like, yo, I really like crabs. Your family like, yo, family, boy gonna walk up to you and whatnot, open up his jacket like, yeah, I got some crabs right here, my brother. How many you need? They going 4 for 5. 4 for 5, 2 for 7 if you got it in heaven. Oh, no? All right. And then for some reason, he got a refrigerated coat. What the fuck is that, right? Niggas stepping these shit up. So let's check out another story. Man, these stories are looking crazy.
Yeah.
Here's another one. 15-year-old boy and man shot in West Philly, police said. A 15-year-old boy and a man was shot in West Philadelphia Wednesday night at 8:10 p.m. Police responded with the shooting. That was today. That was a couple hours ago. Along 5500 Master Street, 55th and Master, so more uptown. A 15-year-old boy was shot in the leg, and a 36-year-old man was shot in the left leg. So it was like father and son. Both victims were transported to the hospital, placed in stable condition. No arrests have been made. That sounds like some beef, like with the dad or the, I don't know what that one. That's a crazy one. I saw another story that looked terrible. Let's check it out. 8 hours ago, it says, wait, I hit a button. Here we are. Ooh, this
all right, Fred, we've got breaks.
Let's play the video. But this one, the story says that a man shot 5 dogs. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, now I do see Philadelphia Phillies shirts. Let's see what this is.
News to tell you about this afternoon. A man is in critical condition right now after police say 5 dogs mauled him in West Philadelphia. NBC 10's Leah Uko was first on the scene and has details on how this happened. Leah, walk us through this.
Yeah, Tracy, neighbors and police, they all tell us that this scene, it started here. This incident, it started here on 62nd Street, but then ended on the other side, which is Robinson Street. Now, the houses on both of these streets, they're row homes, and they're connected by backyards behind. This victim, we're being told, was likely disoriented when he walked across a lawn. That's how this all started. Now, the dogs, police describe as Staffordshire Bull Terriers. They're still back there, as you can see right there, 3 of them. Bark and his officers cleaned up evidence on the scene, including the man's clothing and his shoes. The captain on scene and a neighbor both told us that the victim is in his 60s. He was likely out of it when he walked past the beware of dogs signs into a narrow alleyway and opened the gate to a yard where those dogs were located. We're told they attacked him on sight. Officers actually had to pull the dogs off the man who fell unconscious. They ended up shooting 2 of the 5 dogs. One of them died. A neighbor explained to us why he doesn't think the man had any ill intent.
He didn't know where he was at. And so when the lady came out that lived there, she just told him to get off the property. So when he was getting off the property, instead of him coming back to the streets, he went through her walkway to the alley. He seen the dogs was in there, and he just literally just opened up the gate. Why? We don't know. Just recently had 2 strokes. Yeah, I haven't seen him in maybe 5 years. But I knew exactly, when I seen him who he was, and I knew he wasn't in his right state of mind.
And Mr. McGraw there also says that because of those strokes, this man actually cannot speak. He's often out of his mind a lot. So it's just a bad situation all around. Officers tell me that they're at the hospital with the victim right now, trying to confirm his identity. The homeowner and the person who owns the dogs was not home at the time of this incident. And to our knowledge, at last check, is still not home at this moment.
They ain't coming home. They know they got some animal control issues.
Leah Uko, NBC 10 News.
That's a shame. Well wishes to the old head who had 2 strokes. What's your comment on that there, Volo?
Yeah, I think that was a key cue for your healthcare plan, for your presidential healthcare plan.
Oh man, I mean, well, I think what was very important that nobody really paid attention to in that story about that old man stumbling into the dogs like that, it shows that we don't have proper medical care. We maybe need homes or insane asylums because they're putting a lot of people on the street because you can't put an old guy like him in jail, right? But he probably needs to be taken care of. And I mean, I think we should bring back insane asylums where it's not really about crazy people like the Joker, Arkham and all that crazy stuff. But there's people like him that a nursing home isn't enough. We need an area that's like meant for that, almost to the point where we can even study what's going on with these people and even benefit. So we'll see how that goes. Let's check out some more Philadelphia stories. The next one I see here seems like a good one. Oh, a playoff commentary. What you got going on?
Yeah, Fred, Phillies fans came to see a baseball game, and did the Phillies deliver tonight. They are still pouring out of Citizens Bank Park after the Phils clinched Game 2 of the wild card series. Now it is on to Atlanta. Phillies postseason pandemonium's taking over South Philly for a second night. And fans of all ages can hardly contain their excitement. The gates to the bank opened at 5:30. In true Philly fashion, tailgaters started partying hours earlier in anticipation of a second win against the Marlins in the wild card series.
I felt like the Phillies had this confidence about them last night, and I think they're gonna do it. They're gonna win.
Believe it or not, this is William Brannan's second trip to the postseason. Except last year, he could only hear the bedlam at the bank from inside his mom's belly.
For each series, he was here for a game, and now he's really excited to see them win the whole thing.
A late night game can
He's
often
excited.
guarantee
What's going on?
postseason fevers bound to hit a lot of households by morning. Cam Mullins covering his bases just in case.
Miss Baldwin, I'm going to be tardy tomorrow.
You're gonna have a good time tonight, right? While superstition often rules this town, many fans are confident the Phils are headed back to the Fall Classic, including sisters Krista and Tiffany. The Bucks County natives haven't been to a postseason game together since the Phils beat the Dodgers in the NLCS back in 2008.
Go Philly! We were saying Phillies in five on our way to the World Series, and we were on NBC that night. We called our parents and said, hey, set the DVR button. And they did, and sure enough, we were there at the 11 o'clock news.
Now they're hoping that their luck strikes twice.
It's us! It's us! They're going to win tonight! We're clinching it tonight!
It is. Go Phillies.
Well, she wasn't wrong. It's a rematch against the Braves in the NLDS. It kicks off Saturday in Atlanta before coming back here to Philadelphia next week. And you bet these fans are going to be even more hyped when the Phillies return home. We're live at the Sports Complex in South Philadelphia tonight. I'm Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 News.
Nice. So, Bola, how do you feel about the Phillies? I know you love the baseball.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. We ready. Hopefully we can repeat last year, but win it all this time.
All right, well, there you go. That's good. So what's the story with Atlanta? Because I saw their record was really good this year.
Yeah, they did the same thing last year, but I think somebody else knocked them out last year, though.
Well, that is how it goes. Let me see if they got any other hot stories. Let's see what's going on. We're not doing national stories. We're doing Philly stories. Let's see what's going on with Philly Eagles football. Eagles are doing good. Let's see if we got any good stories here. Let's see.
Eagles 4-0, so.
Yeah, so they tearing up. Another week. Jake Elliott, great kicker. Nothing to worry about that. Let's look for some other stories. I see another good story right here we haven't seen. This one says,
Fred,
we saw this one with the guy who shot at the 3 cops. Out of control. We don't need any national stories. I guess those are all the hot stories in Philly. Let me check out the local section. One moment. Yeah. All right, that covers all the stories, I believe, right there. Okay, this is funny. So it says that Biden's dog Commander was removed from the White House after a series of biting incidents. Now, I don't know if you guys saw a movie called Cocaine Bear, but I suspect that Biden's dog may be the cocaine dog because he found what Hunter was toting. That's all I'm saying. Poor Commander. Now, Commander does look like somebody that says the word Schwarza, Spinska, Hi. I'm just saying, look at the dog. Don't judge me. Judge the dog. Don't judge me. I love dogs. But I'm just saying, this guy seems to really not like Hanukkah. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to my J Bros with J Froze. I love you guys. But yeah, they took his dog out of the house. They said he bit somebody, I guess. Yeah, after a series of bitings. He biting everybody. Leave Joe alone. The dog probably going crazy like Joe, freezing up, biting people for no reason. You know, they said Joe was cussing people out for no reason too. So maybe the dog is just being like his master. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you know, this is Shepard.
I mean, man, your in-depth assessments are CNN worthy, Volo. Let's check out another story. Ooh, now they are searching for a gunman in Chinatown. Watch out, everybody in Philly. There's a wild man running around Chinatown. No video, so I'm going to read this. A man was left in extremely critical condition after being shot in the head in Philadelphia's Chinatown neighborhood early Wednesday. God, that was earlier today. I mean, these stories are all from the day. Jesus. Philadelphia police rushed to Apple Tree Street, a narrow road between 10th and 11th Street that runs parallel to Arch Street. Oh my God. I used to drive down this little street when I would be going through Chinatown trying to get to the clubs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And somebody got hurt on that street. Wow. Man, 3 a.m. to find a man bleeding heavily from a gunshot wound to his head. Police Chief Inspector Scott Smallstead, they rushed him to a nearby hospital where the man remained unconscious with a non-survivable brain injury. The man in his late 30s and resides in Northeast Philly, Small said, we're being told that the 38-year-old victim was with some friends in a club on the 1000 block of Arch Street. They had just exited the club. What the hell happened? Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Man, we got to start her. Oh, here's more. Two of the friends were still out front of the club on Arch Street when the victim walked around to Apple Tree Street. Small said, the friends had heard an argument and then followed by a gunshot. Like, what kind of argument could you get into? That's when they realized he was shot one time in the head. Witnesses saw a group of what appeared to be juveniles. So the damn kids did something to him. Running on foot from the scene. The shooter remained under investigation Wednesday. Surveillance cameras could hopefully help investigators figure out who pulled the trigger. So it sounds like this was a robbery gone wrong. He may have resisted, or he probably was drunk and didn't even realize he was getting robbed. Like, yo, leave me the fuck alone. And apparently the kids probably thought he had money, you know, probably a Caucasian guy, not from the area. They thought they were catching some rich white guy with money, probably. You know how the kids are and whatnot. And that's a shame. So what's your comment on that heartbreaking story, Volo?
We went last time we went to the auto show. I walked past China Street, and you know, the homeless out there was, you know, it was you know, it's hard, it's sad that, you know what I mean, but it was, you know, I don't know what to. But what's messing me up about that area is they want to the Sixers want to build a stadium down there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the Chinatown's protesting that they don't want the stadium down there, and et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know. It's, you know, like, you know me, I'm a bigger guy, so I don't feel unsafe. But you know what I mean, it's corny. Like, you know, what goes on in the city is corny.
Yeah, it's a shame. So let's see. Let's check out something else. See what's going on with the Sixers. You know what's going on right now. James Harden is being a bit of a princess. So check this out.
He should show up in a perm, huh?
Yeah, he's being a bit of a princess.
A lot.
Yeah, he said he wasn't there on the first day of training camp, but he said he is going to play, and he did show up recently for another workout. So it looks like he is going to try to capitulate.
Today, you know, we just came in practice, so you know we did that, and he comes in, that'd be great. You know, I love James. I said earlier, or 2 days, that's yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was it. so I'm running on Eastern time. But yeah, and that'd be great. That'd be great. You know, as a brotherhood, you know, we'll love to see him. And right now, we have to focus on practice today, so it's great.
Yeah, well, I think he doesn't play. He will lose like what? Some crazy money, right? Like $40 million something if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Get ready to make some adjustments on everything. James was a free agent when I interviewed for the job, or when I took the job as well. So again, we didn't know all that. And again, like we worked very hard thinking about this team the way it is now. And I think again, we'll if that changes in any way, whether it's with James or with other guys coming in, we'll make the adjustments hopefully as need be.
Nice. So sounds like they sound optimistic about this James Harden situation. How you feel about it?
You know, yeah, if he shows up in a perm, it'll explain a lot, you know.
Nice. Nice. Let's see what the guy's saying right here. Now, we rarely talk about the Flyers because they suck, but I think it's only right to show them some love too, since this is a Philly sports segment. Then we'll get into our Philly bio and I guess close out after this. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's check out what's going on with our Flyers. It says closer to the NHL lineup. Flyers further evaluate roster hold. Okay, so we are going to suck again this year, everybody. And shout out to the Eagles, Philly, Sixers, and Flyers. And let's see what we're talking about with our Flyers.
In Columbus, just a couple of preseason games remain. Different objectives for different players here tonight as they hit the ice to take on the Boston Bruins. Frost and Ash, you see that line stays the same. They get it in front of, they score! Cam Atkinson from the slot, and the Flyers tie the game at 1. Riley Wallace is pestered by Frost, who comes away with it.
Bolo, did you notice that hockey runs step in step with basketball?
Yeah.
Now,
basketball
I don't want to
nice.
inject race into anything, but is that because they know that all the white people are watching hockey while the black people is watching basketball?
Yeah, they know we ain't going that ice. We don't fuck with that ice.
We ain't watching that shit. You better have something for the white people that can't play basketball to watch. Because you ain't going to be good at this. I'm finna dunk on you when I'm 48, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Back to the story.
The puck. Frost trying to center to Konechny. He's got it. Konechny, the shot, he scores! They have deflected in. And the Flyers, bang, just like that, take a 2-1 lead. Now behind that, back in front. And Couturier broke his stick in the shot attempt. Now enter the blast. He scores!
This is like the Flyers' little roster.
Went to the net, entered the blast. And the Flyers lead 3-1.
Nice
It's
shot.
all but done now here for the Flyers. A real positive game here on home ice against the Bruins.
They dropped the puck, and that's it. Flyers even their record in the preseason at 2-1. Sam Ersson stops 13 of 14 shots. And the Flyers up at the Bruins 3-1.
Okay, we might got a chance this year.
Yeah, they kind of hype, you know what I mean? Preseason, you know what I mean? Usually one of the things is some of the teams that win in preseason tend to lose in the regular season. Hopefully it's different in hockey. Now, I do have a completely different total clout note. I actually have a homie. His name is Jay Smoltz. He is the goalie for the St. Louis Blues, who's one of the best teams who also won the World Series, and he was the World Series goalie. So I'm friends with him, and I can talk to him anytime I want. So I am low-key part of the NHL elite crowd. Just to brag a bit. Means absolutely nothing. But I wanted to say it, so I felt good. So there we go. Great guys, though. And we did interview him, too, on our show on Dash Radio. Matter of fact, I'm going to add that to the list, the Jay Smoltz interview, when I play my pre-show stuff. So that's that. So we got our Philly bio. Any thing to say about any news stuff we're going on or the sports situations while I look up the Philly bio?
No, not really. That was a good recap, man. I really don't watch your regular TV news and all that stuff. I'm more into, just like I said, reading books, playing a little video game with my son, doing some mathematics, we call it STEM now.
Yeah.
Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So I rather do stuff like that than consume the news like that. But that was cool. NBC, it's probably my dad's favorite. I do get on him once in a while when I go over there and see him watching, whoever, especially like, noodles like Al Sharpton. I might get on him a little bit, but I keep it moving. The news is the news.
All right. Excellent. So I was looking up some stuff because I was looking for a little quick bio on our guy, Mr. Fabian Forte. And I see we got some videos of him on the Ed Sullivan Show, things like that. I was looking for more of a bio. But it looks like he was part of the Golden Boys. Matter of fact, let's play some of this. He was with Frankie Avalon and Bobby Rydell. So basically, he was part of that early 1940s, 60s crooners, getting all the chicks with the shiny hair, guys.
I'm laughing at crooners.
What you saying?
I'm laughing at crooners.
Well, they say what they say. It's basically white guys that stole black people.
Yeah, he looked like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
the opening act, not the he ain't the closing act. He looked like the opening act.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and play some of this video from this channel. Matter of fact, let me make sure I get the proper fair use. It's Eileen Pros. We want to show respect to all channels and fair use options. We don't want to disrespect people's great work.
Looked like he tried out for the who is that in the Godfather? That was based on Frank or whatever.
I can't remember.
Big with songs like Venus and Bobby Socks to Stockings, and starring roles in many films. He's now celebrating his 24th year as one of this country's leading entertainers. And did you swoon when you heard Fabian sing Turn Me Loose or Tiger? Fabian has managed to make 30 films over the years while still rocking and rolling to an audience of loyal fans all over the world. Who were you dancing with when Bobby Rydell crooned the country with Volare, Wild Thing, and Kissin' Time, just to name a few? Bobby was as lovable in Bye Bye Birdie as he is on television and in the many personal appearances he makes around the world. How about a big welcome for Bobby Rydell, Frank Avalon, and Fabian?
Oh, look at that. Excellent. So we're going to skip to the bio, but look at who's part of that crew. These guys get hosed. They about to get some panties on the stage. Man, watch out. Look at listen to the host. They're like, oh!
I don't get one for you, huh? Just a handshake?
Just a handshake? This bitch wants some dick.
Oh, boy. I haven't
Just a handshake? You can't shove your dick. Get me right quick. All right, so we're going to stop that. I'm going to go to the real bio of our guy, Mr. Fabian Forte. I found his biography. Ironically, Volo, I found his biography on a channel that's called the Black Soul Channel. Any commentary on that?
He might have one drop.
That's how it goes down. Let me get
this one drop, right?
Yeah, we're going to let the Black Soul Channel take care of our Philly bio of the week, Mr. Fabian Forte. And thank this person for making this great video and having it here. And hopefully they're cool with me as a new sub talking about what's going on with Fabian, because at least they took the time to show this guy some love. So let's see what we got and check out this biography of our guy Fabian Forte.
Fabian biography. 1. Criticism. Though many critics complain of his lack of vocal talent, singer Fabian used his good looks and publicity to become an extremely popular teen idol during the late 1950s and early 1960s. Viewed at the time as being the leading pretender to the pop throne vacated by Elvis when the King was drafted into the Army in 1958, Fabian scored top 40 hits with Tiger and Turn Me Loose, and gained even more exposure when he began to appear in films, featured along with actors such as Bing Crosby and John Wayne. As Ed Ward summed up in his book Rock of Ages, The Rolling Stone History of Rock and Roll, Fabian was a very clever, very calculated product, but also, for a time, a very successful one. 2. Life. Fabian was born Fabian Forte on February 6, 1943, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah!
Not displaying any particular interest in music beyond that of a normal teenager, it was perhaps as much a surprise to him as to anyone else when he was discovered by the writing-producing-recording team of Bob Marcucci and Pete DeAngelis, the owners of the Chancellor record label, who were also instrumental in the career of Frankie Avalon. There are varying accounts of how Forte was recruited. Fabian himself was quoted in the Los Angeles Times as saying that it happened while his father was being...
Vola, did you notice how all these guys, their names have like the same kind of Italian sound?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Frankie Avalon, Bob Marcucci, Fabian Forte. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't see any cross teamwork. That's that unity. You know what I mean?
Being carried out to an ambulance after suffering a heart attack. Marcucci was walking by and we were introduced. He was intrigued by my name and he wondered if I'd be interested in the recording business. 3. The competition. Marcucci, however, quoted by Ward, claimed that Avalon was responsible for the meeting, and recounted his reactions. Somehow I sensed that here was a kid who could go. He looks a little bit like both Elvis Presley and Ricky Nelson. I figured he was a natural. It's true that he couldn't sing. But it was a fairly common practice during the late 1950s for record producers to look for handsome young men that could induce joyful sighing and screaming in young female music fans, and thus, while still in his late teens, Fabian was signed to a contract with Chancellor Records. The young man took it in stride. He told Dennis Hunt in another Los Angeles Times article that, when I got the offer, I took it because I thought it might be exciting. Besides, my father was sick and the family needed money. 4. The decadence. Despite the fact that DeAngelis and Marcucci provided Fabian with singing lessons, his career did not take off right away. His first single, I'm in Love, met with little but critical derision when it was released. But the proprietors of Chancellor were unwilling to give up. They stirred up massive amounts of publicity about Fabian, and booked him for an East Coast tour of many theaters and auditorium.
Bolo, based on what you heard, theoretically, is it safe to say that Fabian was an industry plant? Because you heard what they said, and they couldn't really sing, but he was cute. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? He was cute and he did whatever he say. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fabian began to build up a following among teenagers, and by 1959 he was having hit records. His first was I'm a Man. Tiger and Turn Me Loose followed quickly. But after his banner year of 1959, Fabian's ability to produce hits began to fail him. For a time this mattered little, because he was exploring a career as an actor. Because of his popularity, he was approached by Hollywood, and his first featured role was in 1959's Hound Dog Man. He began to rise above the teen music exploitation film genre the following year,
you know what's
when he
crazy?
appeared.
This dude's looks and social media cred basically is why he has a career. Because you heard they said he was popular. That's why we wanted to get him. One, because he was a good actor. Yeah, we made him a singer, but he couldn't sing.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. It's almost like nothing has changed. We sit around and complain about this stuff today, but when you really think about it, how much has changed?
It's you know, this is what they do.
With Bing.
Hey, Volo, what play they gonna run?
Sweep to the right? Or don't matter which direction, right?
No matter which direction. Toss is a sweep. Just wait for the toss. Wait for the toss, Volo. Just defend whoever looks like they about to get a toss. You know they're not gonna throw it. They're gonna toss it. Sweep.
Crosby in High Time and John Wayne in North to Alaska. Unfortunately, though, as his musical fame faded, Fabian's film offers grew scarcer. One of his last memorable roles was the portrayal of a psychopath in Bus Stop. Like many
Shout out to David Carroll, by the way. R.I.P.
other performers of his period, however, Fabian experienced a resurgence in popularity when music fans in the late 1970s and 1980s began to feel nostalgic for the songs of the 1950s and 1960s. He still sings his hits in oldies shows, though he...
Bolo, is it safe to say that people in the 80s and 90s wanted to make America great again?
Make America great? Oh, yeah. They was trying to find, the next Elvis. Or he said he got big when Elvis went to the war, right?
Yeah. Just like other niggas got big after Pac died. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
He has not recorded any new material. Research, Victor Hugo Lizard Leonard. Hello friend, I am a great lover of music, and because I thought that without music, it would be nothing, I created this channel. Soul is the root of music, and in my humble view, everything we hear today of good music is related to soul.
Is that Young Nancy?
If you liked it, Leave your like and subscribe to the channel of this force so that new content like this can be produced.
What you said?
Was that young Nancy Reagan? It looked like young Nancy Reagan.
Might as well be. Well, you know, I don't want to sound racist, but all young old white ladies look like that. They all was pretty when they was young. It's once the sun hits them that they turn into raisins that you would never want to touch. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dr. Umar.
How does that help?
I don't know. It just felt like a good reason to support him. So, final words on Fabian.
That was he's from Philly, huh? What part? We'll look that up next time.
Let's see what part specifically if they more. Let me see
if they even say what part he's from.
Forte.
We're sure it's South Philly. Had to get out of there.
Yeah, let's see. Let me bring it up right quick. So, Fabian 14, born in 1943, known as Fabian, rose to prominence in the 50s and 60s, born in Philly. He's the son of Josephine and Dominic Forte. His father was a police officer. He was the eldest of three brothers. He's from South Philadelphia. Where else would an Italian be from, right?
Yeah.
The Lowen Monumenting neighborhood. He got his start by Bob Marcucci. He had a bunch of early songs, a bunch of hit songs. He started acting with 20th Century Fox and kicked butt. Also did some stuff with AIP, whatever the fuck that is. In his later years, he admitted to his premises. He said the pressures of his career and home life caused him to start drinking in the 60s. So he was hammered from about the 60s to 1970. Then he got back to singing after he sobered up in 73. Then I was born, but I don't think my name is Fabian. He made good money doing stuff, made a couple $100,000. He also had a personal life. He got drafted but rejected for military service during the Vietnam War. So he could have been gone too, along with Elvis. I said he's unfit for service, which means he probably drank too much. In 1982, he's arrested for reportedly sticking a cigarette into a passenger who asked him to put it out in the non-smoking section of an airplane. So as back in the day, you used to be able to smoke in the whole airplane. Then they switched it to a certain part of the airplane, like the back or something, where you could smoke. And so I guess he was so sick of it because he'd been smoking on planes for years that he put it into somebody in 1982, which is so dope. Love this guy. Fabian is truly a Philly nigga. I love it. His first marriage was a tour model, and they got married in September, which is a great month. He married another lady later and divorced her in 1990. In 98, he married a third broad. And then they also got sued by a resort where they were married because they didn't pay for the wedding. What kind of gangster shit is that? Fabian is mob buddy. I don't pay for shit. I don't pay for shit, and I put a freaking cigarette on your bitch ass. Fabian a thug. Fabian relocated to L.A., which everybody should go. He moved back to Philly, which I'm going to be doing one day, to Fayette County. And he got a bunch of acres and did a bunch of shows a year. He did some philanthropy, had a bunch of singles hits. And that is our guy, Fabian Forte from South Philadelphia. Shout out to South Philly and the Philadelphia Phillies, who are representing South Philly as we speak. Final words, Volo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nice. Final words.
Dope show, man. You know, just enjoying the life.
That's right. And everybody else, remember to do just the same. It's the My Part of Town podcast. Also, remember, we do got a show on Saturday, as long as I don't get too drunk or distracted, called Local and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza, which is a show all about good times, great time. Shout out to my guy, JD Kavanaugh, pumping his head in. And shout out to his city, Seattle. Same news, same stuff, different city. He said he was watching the news segment too, said it's just like home. Major cities are the same everywhere. And like I said, we'd love to hear about your cities too. Thanks for checking out the show, JD Kavanaugh. And get that man on Saturday Night Live ASAP, people. He's dedicated. Outstanding. Also, like I said, we got our show on Saturday called Volo and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza. On Monday, we got Noodle Free Mondays, which also comes out. And of course, today we had the My Part of Town podcast. So we also check out my YouTube, Cat Poop Crazy Carl. Check out Volo's YouTube, Volo Television, and just put in Volo Fam and most other social medias, and you will find him. You can give us money if you like. We have cash apps and things like that too. It's out there somewhere. You'll find it. And it doesn't matter. Nobody's sending the shit. And on Mondays we have My Part of Town podcast, and I always love to remember everybody. Love is good, life is better. But before you die, you better do something that's going to make you last forever, because 20 years later, nobody will remember you were here. My Part of Town podcast. We out and in them streets. Peace and love.